So thank you. I will start. I would like to share some thoughts about darkness, because I've been involved with that since I planned Noche Zero thing, and I think the first talk I did was 10 years ago, exactly 10 years ago in Milan, and it was thinking about a new way to think the nights. So the first thing is about to get the value of the night, and this starts exactly with the first international meeting of Noche Zero started in 2012. And the idea was to gather people from all over the world in a place where is the best place to see the stars. Because the way that the lighting for the outdoor of all our cities is doing is missing a lot of things, missing our heritage on the stars and missing some like the stars as a astronomical thing, but also is missing the possibility to do design on it. So together with fantastic people, including the Light Collective, we did the first meeting and we give some conclusions, including science, heritage, and design. And there was the best people we could find in astronomy, in human health, because the absence of the night has an impact on health, on the ecology, and also in design and culture. So the way of the conclusions for the Noche Zero thing was that we have to change the paradigm of designing our nights for our cities, because it's totally wrong, and it has to be a holistic approach, including design, science, and heritage. Since 2012, I've been doing this talk on Noche Zero because we plan a manifesto that includes education, and I think last Friday I made my 30 talk I've been done this in 3 countries, and 3 continents and a lot of countries, that the way to think about the nights, it should involve all this and also a global education. So with this view that an holistic approach to improve our city nights, we make some, this is an image of Santiago, and it should be without, if the light should be without light pollution, and we're taking care of our nights. This is an image of a correct night. It's astronomically correct, and how should be our night to recover our stars as a heritage. But the message, when we talk about the value of the night or the darkness, it have to involve the possibilities of good lighting for making the people to understand, the people who make the decisions. So these are some examples from my office, that this is a park, and how this is the approach of the lights. If the light loses the intensity according to the distance, we should have to think new ways to lit the things. So avoiding glare, using low levels for lighting we could contemplate, and also make some poetic things so that the light can be designed. And one thing is that after the education and after talking about these all the bad things that are related to losing our night, is that we have to involve the regulations. And now that I'm involved in changing the regulations has a pervert side, because it promotes somehow homogeneity of a permanent state of the bright, worst light. And it promotes something that is easy to measure, and it deletes shadows and the poetry of lighting. So these are some other examples that that light could involve motion and the sequence, because this was the colors of a sunset lit in this facade in a sequence of 2 minutes, and it makes more alive. And also it used that was a plaza in Artekin Museum, that it makes the darkness so important, because darkness is the canvas of our work to make this playful things, and it is not so scared. People is not scared of darkness, because the light works fantastic with these emotions and colors and changing light. So then, after this, it comes some conclusions about the poetry of darkness, because I had the chance. I want to explore more the darkness in another way, in a stage lighting, which I have totally. I have never done that before. So involving art and stage lighting, that was my first project I did with an artist, and I brought all the possibilities that light has, that includes motion and color and intensity, and that is far away from have this even or still light. We can involve a lot of things when also make darkness our best friend. This is called the perfect sunset, and it's changing very slowly the colors to make the different sensation of different sunsets in different latitudes. So normally I do a program of 2 minutes, a sequence of changing color, because once a museum, the people from a museum said the people don't stare more than 2 minutes every window, but in this I made 7 minutes, and in total darkness the people has another kind of feeling and could stare 30 minutes, even 40 minutes, just a very slow changes of color that it's changed. So that was the construction of the thing. For the DMX that wants to know how it was done, it was 9 meters long and a little bit more, 2 meters high. And the people just stare in silence, and it became another mood. This was an experiment that was very, I was very lucky to do it, because with a choreographer, she asked me to just try lights. So the only one condition that it has, we need total darkness. So I start to play with laser and reflections. I made myself like a couple of gloves with laser, like Edward Scissorhands, but with lights in one side and lasers in the other, with the reflective things. And it was in like the Royal Opera House, but from Chile. I was super nervous for that presentation, because I was on stage doing that. And the camera couldn't take anything, because it was too dark for the camera. They were used for more light, but the eye could perceive everything, and the sensation for the people were different. So Betania, which is the dancer and the choreographer, she danced, she died. I took like the soul from her body. So these are the only pictures I've got from that thing, but it was a very fantastic sensation to use the darkness as our canvas. And this is it's okay. This is a It's okay? Yeah. So this was also an experiment. I was invited to be part of that, of this creation. It's called The Bodies Are Celestial somehow. And it worked with light, was a main actor. So I did the storyboard in the light, and the dancers play together with that. So one very interesting thing is that in total darkness, that was the most complex thing to get in the theater. People, when you know that you're safe, it's a connection that you lose your limits, and somehow it get connected with everything. And with the little light that start to show up, you see things in the distance. And this is the dimming up is a very poetic moment. So we play with very low levels of light. That was what I wanted to explore, and reflections and color and motion, that we can use the whole palette of our lighting language to make this. That was one of the protagonists of the reflections, and this was like a light installation in the middle of the play, and this short film shows some dancers came spontaneously. We were filming; they didn't know that we were filming, and the thing is that one of the things I discovered that is that the darkness is the best friend of lighting creation. Is the best canvas for us to put all our tools and palettes. It's not just light that can be measured. There are all other things that we can explore with emotion, color, and when light is really connected with art and design, we can make a creative experience that we can use all our resources, time, motion, and sequence, the intensity, and also connect the value of these colors and connect with emotion to make this a poetry of light. So thank you.